All right, let's talk about the Guardians after a quick word from Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work, of taking pride in what you build, in practicing every detail to get the best results. But no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier. And at Epicor, the All-Stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global visions, we'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way, because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most out of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners. Easier finds the lane. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. The Guardians won again. That is 3 of 4 they took from the Twins. The floor is yours.
So
much for that Twins prediction I had.
What did you say?
I had the Twins finishing ahead of the Guardians. They're trash.
Well, listen, I mean, a lot of people said they were going to be a contender in the division, and right now, that doesn't look to be the case. Here's what my takeaway, Jay, was, and G, and I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. The margin of error in Major League Baseball is very slim, but for some reason, this team's grit factor, which I think should be a measurable stat, this team's grit factor is off the charts. They end up getting absolutely rinsed in game 1 of the series. In fact, if you look at their 2-game stretch there, I think they were outscored like 24-2 or something. Bats were silent. Pitchers were, Austin Hedges had to pitch.
The Twins were rolling when they got here.
The Twins were on a bit of a roll. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by how grit, I think, is the most important intangible in sports. This it's a flawed roster. This roster's a joke.
Oh.
It's a mess. In no way is this roster an 18-13 roster. After your first hitter and your third hitter, our 2 hitters, Nolan Jones, he can't stay there. He's awful. They've got to move on from him. They've got holes at the bottom of the lineup. You've got, at some point, you had a 160 hitter followed by a 176 hitter yesterday. You can't have that. Wow. All of that being said, and the pitchers have not been great. The starting pitchers have been way less than we thought they would be, and our closer is a shell of himself. And yet somehow they're 18-13, and I'll give you a quick example of how important grit is in baseball. So the last 3 games of the series, the Guardians won 2-1, 4-2, 4-3. All 3 of those games easily could have gone the other way. Here's where they sit if they had all 3 gone the other way. Instead of being 18-13 with the second most wins in the American League, they would be 15-16. And the difference in the standings, they're now 5.5 games up on the Twins. They would have been a half a game behind the Twins if they didn't grit out games 2, 3, and 4 in the series. And I don't know how to explain it, Jay. I mean, it's one of those things, you know it when you see it. This team grinds. Last night, or yesterday, was a perfect example. The game took over 5 hours with the 2 rain delays. They get into extra innings. They give up the run in the 10th. Now, they only had 2 hits the first 8 innings of the game. In the 9th inning, their first 2 hitters got hits. And so you're like, here they come. Here comes that grind again. Now, they loaded the bases. They left them loaded. They didn't get it there. Then in the top of the 10th, they give up a run, and you're thinking, they're going to lose it anyhow. But then they come up in the bottom of the 10th, and they score 2. It's like, what do we need? We need 4? Okay. They go out and get 4. They grind when they need to grind. And the absolute poster child of the grit of this team is José Ramírez, who yesterday did something that's never been done in Cleveland Guardians history. In fact, if you go and look at the numbers, no one's even come close to this.
They said that they just put him squarely in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, not that there was he needs to do it for longer, obviously, but he's on the Hall of Fame track, has been forever. 250 home runs, 250 steals. And yesterday, he gets the base hit to tie it in the 10th. He's on first. And I'm saying to myself, he's stealing this bag. There's no way in the world he's not stealing this bag. Jose could steal 50 a year if he wanted to. He steals when they make a difference in the game. He steals second base. Then he scores the game-winning run because he was in the process of stealing third base and was able to come around and score on the single. The talent outside of Jose and Kwan, and Angel Martinez, who got the game-winning hit, the lineup is abysmal. It's close to a last-place lineup, but the grit puts them over the top, and that's my biggest takeaway from this Twins series. They could have easily lost all 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, I went on a rant on our group chat a couple weeks ago about this lineup. It's horrendous.
Weak.
But I actually do like Nolan Jones in the 2 spot.
I don't.
He's hitting it hard. He just has nothing to show.
Yeah, but he had
for
an at-bat yesterday in a crucial spot. He looked lost.
He's got a lot of strikeouts. The strikeouts are piling up. When he hits it really hard. He has nothing to show for it. I'm fine giving it. What else? What other choice do they have?
That's the problem, Jay. In the offseason, they needed to address this better than they did.
Well, give it another month and see where he's at the end of May, and then adjust accordingly. I said to Bull yesterday, if Chase DeLauder's healthy in July,
that's a big if.
I know. And
how
Nolan's still
about
hitting under
Bieber
200.
throwing bullpens, live BP now? He starts in May.
Well, he's at 12 months now.
I know, but there was a lot of people a lot of folks were saying, yeah, he's not going to pitch at all this year.
Oh no!
And
I thought August.
I mean, he's trending very much so now to maybe All-Star break.
I mean, maybe the end of July. I still think it's best case scenario mid to end of July. Best case scenario.
I'll take it.
I mean,
imagine the boost that would be.
Oh,
to this
for
team.
sure.
Is there a case where you see people come back too soon from Tommy John? I don't never really hear it. All I hear is people come back stronger and.
Yeah, I can't recall of a
they
case.
Are careful.
Yeah,
teams are careful.
And if anything, they err on the side of caution.
Yeah, keeping them out too long.
And it feels like with ACLs, they used to be. I feel like they've been able to shorten the window of ACL returns a little bit. Tommy John, it almost feels like it's going the other way, where it's like 14, 15 months now.
I know, it always just feel like a year.
Yeah.
And now it's more 12 to 15.
John Means is the one. I don't know that we're going to see him pitch this year.
Right.
But Bieber, I always expected. I thought he would be an August guy.
I hope so. I mean,
if you look at recent guys who have Tommy John at the end of April, their debuts are typically end of July, early August.
I didn't mean to take you off the track there. I just wanted to bring up Bieber. But on this roster, that you've documented and we've talked about is just inferior. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
Whether Nolan Jones ends up being a hit or not, there's holes in the roster and in the lineup, and where there was a situation twice in this series where Kwan was at the plate with a man on base in scoring position, and you could see the Twins worked around him. 4-pitch walk in one case. They worked around him to get to the weaker, inferior Jones, figuring it's a double win. You can get out of the inning with a guy hitting less than his weight, and you don't have to pitch to Kwan, and now you can throw the soft stuff to José because there's no threat of somebody stealing a base. He's not going to see fastballs. There is a trend developing this year in José Ramirez at bats. He's not seeing fastballs. He's just not.
I never saw him a fastball.
Well, he's seeing fewer than he has seen in the past, and I hope there's a metric that you can look that up. I'm noticing, particularly early in at-bats, he's seeing all soft stuff. And José doesn't like that. José rakes on the fastball.
Yeah.
You can't get one by him. And I've just noticed the pattern that's developing is here, 2 of them. They're working around Kwan to get to the 2-hitter, which should never happen. And then José's starting a lot of innings, and he's not a threat. And if he is, he's a 1-run threat, and he's seeing a lot of soft stuff.
Yeah.
And they've found a way to neutralize our 2 best hitters.
I like Manzardo's progress this year. I think he's legit. Naylor's shown some life the last couple of days. Arias, I think, will be the shortstop by July. I've said that before.
Maybe sooner.
I've seen enough of Rocchio.
I have too.
I don't know who you put it. I mean, I'm not all in on Schneemann at second. Hopefully, maybe when Bull mentioned when Lane Thomas returns, move Martinez to second, put him back in his natural spot.
And there's no way we're seeing Bazzana this year, is there?
He's not hitting well right now.
No, I know he's not.
So he's going to have to get hot. I thought July was a possibility,
but
he was going to have to get off to a good start. There's already one from that class up, Nick Wirtz from his class. Yeah, Oakland recalled him.
Oakland, yeah.
Well, not Oakland anymore, the Athletics.
Yeah.
Recalled him last week. That was the first from the Bazzana class to make the majors.
Wow. But that's like a 4A organization, too.
Oh, they're
I know they're playing well. They're playing better this year.
They are my second favorite team this year.
Yeah, they are fun to watch.
I love watching them play.
A lot of them grit. They're overachieving.
They got some monsters.